Hello everyone, SableyeVGC here and welcome back to the channel. Today we are featuring an incredibly cool Galarian Zapdos Goldengo team made by the 2017 World Champion Ryoto Atsubo. So first off, thank you for sharing this. I'm really looking forward to trying this one out, guys, okay? Goldengo is a Pokemon that has been seeing a lot of usage as of late. It's been growing in popularity throughout the tournaments, but who would have thought being immune to at least a third of the moves in the game is incredibly strong? Turns out it is. But more importantly, I think the Zapdos on this team is very, very interesting. Right? The flying fighting coverage is something that is not seen a lot, and I'm not too sure if there's a lot of people that like have answers to it, right? Because like, if I'm gonna have an answer to a flying type, you know, my Heatran is generally a pretty decent option. You know, not gonna work. A rock type is generally a pretty not gonna work. You know, you can't intimidate me. I'm Choice Scarf, so I'm going faster than things. It seems like a very good off-meta pick, anti-meta pick sort of thing. But either way, I'm really looking forward to try this out, so we're gonna go do just that. Okay, so we're gonna get Graham here, and it looks like Graham is running some sort of, I was gonna say it's a Rinya variant with like the Shampoo of the Earth, but there's no Dragonite and there's no Farigiraf, so it's definitely fairly different there. So maybe a bit more like a more updated, like sort of like a balanced version of it. But either way, pretty cool team. I think Goldengo is going to be pivotal into winning this matchup. I also believe Zapdos is going to be incredibly strong for us here. It's a matter of positioning them to the spots, right? Because leading Zapdos is incredibly strong because they don't really have a lot of things that can actually pressure it down immediately. The only thing that could actually like cause that problems would be Fake Out plus Flutter Mane. So if they do lead Rillaboom Flutter Mane, it becomes rather problematic. So the question becomes, how do I want to play around Rillaboom Flutter Mane? Because that should be, in my opinion, what they're kind of leaning towards. I could go something with like Tailwind on Torn. I could also go Goldengo because then at least it says pick one, right? I could also just bring Zapdos in the back and say I have it for late game. There's not a whole lot you can do versus that, which I actually don't mind either. I might go Goldengo Ogerpon as like a really like bulky lead. I still like Zapdos in this matchup. I think it's really strong, and it's either going to be Intimidate or Torn just for speed control. I think I'm going to go for the speed control, late game speed, which seems a little odd, but given the fact that there's an Urshifu beside a Shenpao on the opposing team, I feel like there's a very decent chance we could see a Scarf either on that piece or on the Landorus. And I'd like to make sure that other pieces outside of my Zapdos are outpacing those in the endgame. And I also just think the flying coverage into my opponent's team is incredibly strong once we get through something like that Heatran. Speaking of which, there it is. So I could have just led Zapdos here and been in an absolutely incredible position. Instead, not a bad position by any means. Right? Don't get me wrong. I'm not like disappointed in this position. Right? We have our nasty plot. We can set up. We can protect. We are Terra Dragon. It's more so along the lines of what I want to see, what I want to do with against the Flutter Mane, because the Flutter Mane is what scares me right now, right? Like, I kind of want to just protect and try to blow back Flutter Mane, which honestly kind of seems okay, and just drop it. It's a little greedy, but like, yeah, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. It's a little odd, it's a little greedy, but we're gonna make it happen. Hopefully it works out for us here. It's one of those ones where if the Lando comes in, it's a little scary, but I also don't know if they're like inclined to have brought the Landorus, right? Obviously I'm burning my Terra rather early, which is not great for us. Is it going to be Landorus coming in here? That also really fair. That is also an incredibly fair turn. This is where I wish I had Arcanine. Arcanine would definitely be saving me here, but if we forced a Terra on their Heatran, it's not so bad, but I don't think we did. This is a really good play from their end. Because they should just, what, drop a Heat Wave, I would imagine. And now I've burnt my Terra, and I can no longer Terra the Goldengo out of the Heat Wave damage, so not ideal. I hope they protect. If they protect, it's not so bad. Are we just faster than their Heatran? Because that's also potentially good if they're protecting here. Nope, they're just going to stay on the field. They were just going to give me the Heatran. That's a little unfortunate. But it's okay. Rillaboom does not appreciate that. Still took a decent chunk of damage. Oh. Yeah, they were really just going to give me the Heatran. Now I'm actually in trouble. This is not good, guys. This is not good. Okay, so they're gonna go. Yeah, I don't think I ever win this. Because they're just going to drop a Heat Wave. I'm going to hard switch in Zapdos and just try to put some pressure on and then protect. Because I'm not going to die to a Grassy Glide. Right? And I think that's what I have to consider being good for me right now. Especially after that poor turn 1. But once again, if I see that and I know they have sub, I probably target Heatran. Right? But that's the joys of best of 1 close sheets. Am I right? Regardless, though, this is going to be a... should be okay here. Assuming things work out the way I expect them to work out. Come on, Zapdos, don't be back. I'm so used to Zapdos just being absolutely terrible. There's a Wood Hammer into my spiky shielding Ogerpon, so they are going to take some chip. They are most certainly in range of a Brave Bird now. I mean, Rillaboom is good, but Rillaboom is not that good. Heatran's going to drop the Heat Wave. Zapdos, buddy, come on. Zapdos, buddy, don't let me down here. You gotta be able to take this to some... Okay. Zapdos, kind of good, guys. Is Zapdos kind of good? Because the good news is about this is we're no longer scared of the Rillaboom slot. I launched the Brave Bird into that. The resistance is on the field behind a substitute. So they don't have a resistance to this Brave Bird. It's gonna come out, it's gonna do damage. I probably lose Zapdos. However, I'm okay with that because I still have Torn and I'm breaking a sub onto Heatran. This should be Grassy Glide or maybe a switch out from the Rillaboom depending on if they want to keep it or not. But if they want to keep it, they really just kind of have to say, yeah, I'm letting something else go here. Which I don't know if they really want to do. I think I'm just going to be able to get the free kill into the Rillaboom. The question is, are they going to go for the Grassy Glide realizing and accepting the fact that they're going to go down here? I would imagine they do. I would imagine it's just Grassy Glide like Heat Wave or Grassy Glide Flash Cannon if they have it. Just get rid of my Zapdos, like trade the Rillaboom for the Zapdos. But they're actually going to hard switch the Rillaboom out. So I could have just gone Thunderous Kick and Ivy Cudgel and blown back the Heatran. Unfortunately, they do kind of, I guess, I don't want to say if they necessarily read into it, but they definitely got the turn correct here as they bring in Lando. We get the Defiant Boost from the Brave Bird though, so this should be, yeah. Yeah, that checks out. Thank you, Zapdos. That checks out. Thank you, Zapdos. Alright, so we are going to go down, unfortunately, with our Zapdos here to what I'm presuming is a Heat Wave, which is a very good play from their end. So nothing we can realistically do there, but bullying down to Heatran is a must-have right now. This thing needs to get bullied because I need to be able to actually break it. And they are going to Heat Wave. Okay. Because I need to be able to break it. If I can't break it, Goldango cannot win me this game as planned. Goldango's already in a rougher spot, but I do still have Tailwind, which is something that I definitely want to try and capitalize on with Torn. It's more so a question of where do I bring it in, because do I go Torn now, try to get Tailwind up early, and then have Goldango later, because I don't know if I actually have the pressure to actually kill things right now, which is the scary part. Whereas if I go Goldango, I can go double protect onto Rillaboom, fake out, stall turn of grass, get some health back. The problem is that'll just give them a free sub. I think I do go Goldango though, and I try to bully down the Heatran slot consistently, and I just pick 2 knockouts, click 2 buttons into it, and see if I can get as much damage as possible as I possibly can into it. Because right now they should be faking out, I would imagine. Maybe go with fake out. Do I want to get greedy? That's way too greedy, right? There's no way that's right. There's no way this is correct, although I kind of feel like it might be. Because, like, they should just fake out Ogerpon here. There's really no reason for them not to and try to set up, like, a sub. But by getting a nasty flood up, it gives me a chance to maybe see the speed tiers here. We're going to see a Terra as well. Is it going to be the Rillaboom? Terra Grass, Grassy Glide, maybe? It's going to be the Heatran. So that gets revealed. It's going to be Grass. So that looks like they're definitely going to be getting a substitute up here, unfortunately. However... yeah, that was... should have Shadow Ball maybe. Crit? No. I mean, the good news is, I have Torn. If Goldango can survive a Heat Wave, I do have a Torn. Goldango is proven to be faster than both. Oh, they're going to U-turn off the Dango. I don't know if I necessarily like that play. I genuinely just am unsure if I like that play from their end or not. It seems a little odd. Obviously, their Fluttermane's coming back onto the field. It really just comes down to as to what Heatran does here. It's just going to launch the Heat Wave. Goldango, buddy. Okay, good job, Goldango. Good job, Goldango. Alright. So, now it's a little bit of a dicey turn because I have to get Torn onto the field in order for myself to be able to get a Tailwind up. The problem, however, is I don't know where I'm going to be able to maneuver to get Torn onto the field because I'm probably taking... I think it's just protected bringing Torn. I don't think I have a better option. Wait. Was that Focused Blast Tornadus? I was not paying attention. I did not see that. That's crazy. You know, I just, for whatever reason, I looked at Torn. I'm like, oh, it's just a Torn. You know, you got your Bleak Winds. Like, and I like kind of like skimmed through the team report as well, which by the way is down below if you guys want to read it yourself. Japanese, of course, is not the easiest thing to read, so I don't blame myself for missing it. But that's crazy. That's kind of wild. Okay, so we're not in a terrible position here. The problem is, like I said, I don't know if I can get Gholdengo into the spot that I want to get because I need to get a Tailwind up. And I need Torn to survive, and I just don't know if Torn is going to be capable of surviving a turn here. Torn is going to be surviving a turn, you love to see it. Alright, what are we going to see from this Flutter Mane? This Flutter Mane is just going to click Dazzling Gleam. Okay, this is really good for us because now we get to go... How much? We get to see that is Specs. That is doing way too much damage to not be Specs. So now I get to go Make It Rain Tailwind. The only problem is, if actually they're Dazzling Gleaming. Oh, this is annoying. This is so annoying. I think it has to be Tailwind. And then I just have to survive a... And I just have to survive a Heat Wave with my Torn. I don't have another out, I don't think. Because... Unless I protect Bleak Wind. If I protect Make It Rain. Lose Gholdengo. That guarantees that I have Torn versus Rillaboom. Is that better? That's a better endgame. That is most certainly a better endgame. Imagine if I would have just dropped the Bleak Wind right now, though. Imagine if I would have just dropped the Bleak Wind. So one, they may not be AV Rillaboom. And two, we're just going to get big Make It Rain damage off here. And then we're still going to try and get Tailwind up next turn. So this isn't the end of the world. Obviously, the Specs Flutter Mane is still a very big concern in the endgame. Never mind. Gholdengo is kind of broken. Never mind. I take it back. This mod is broken. Why did that just kill both? This mod is kind of broken. Alright, so... now we click Tailwind, Make It Rain, and win the game. Alright, Gholdengo. Kind of goes... Thanks, buddy. Alright. Like, I've used Gholdengo before, but for whatever reason, like, I've also used Heatran and Rillaboom, but I didn't expect that to kill. Especially, like, a substitute bulky, or presumed bulky or Heatran. You know, like, I just did not expect that to kill. Anyways, Tailwind, Make It Rain, go burr, I guess. Sure. Yeah, no, that was... even if they somehow miraculously kill both here, I have my full health Ogerpon with the special defense boost on the switch back in. They are not winning this game. There's no line in which they get out of this now because we're going to get the Make It Rain off. I'm just shocked that that killed both. Like, if that was going to kill both, like, I was going to Tailwind every single time. Right? That Protect is under the assumption that Gholdengo is going to miss the KO on the Heatran. But thankfully, we got the kill. It didn't matter. And we're going to take our W. So I'll see you guys in game 2. Yo, now we've got Empoleon Regidrago. Okay, so for those of you that don't know, Regidrago goes kind of crazy in this format where you just click Dragon Energy and you just take like 50% to the entire format unless they're a fairy type. So I'm going to have to maneuver this fairly smartly because I also don't know where their sashes are or where their items are, right? You got to presume Booster Speed Flutter, Specs to you. Maybe some sort of like a Scarf Earth depending on how hyper offense they want to go. That would check out though, especially with the Empoleon and the Rillaboom to support the Urshifu there. That would check out, in some sort of Dragon Fang Regidrago if I had to guess the items, which is kind of the whole point of playing best of one singles, is guess where the items are. So how do I want to line this up now? Because like obviously Tailwind goes crazy, right? There's no doubt in my mind where Tailwind goes crazy. Is this Arcanine faster than 130? So Booster Speed Flutter will probably be outpacing me, and there's not a whole lot I can do with that. I'm trying to find something that I can go Tailwind beside to get through the Chi-Yu mode. But I'm not sure if they really want to bring the Chi-Yu mode. Actually, how fast is this Ogerpon? Probably not fast enough either. Very much so fast enough. Alright. Ogre Torn. Goldengo comes, and I think Flutter comes as late game. This is really, really not great. It's gonna come down to how fast, to what they lead. Because, like, if they start leading Empoleon, it's not like the end of the world. I'm gonna just click Focus Blast. I hope you know that. If they lead Empoleon, I am clicking Horn Leech Focus Blast and killing the Empoleon on turn 1. I hope you guys are aware of that. I'm probably going to miss the Focus Blast, but, you know, this is what we do. They did lead Empoleon. You know I'm clicking it, guys. They had Fake Out beside it, so it's not necessarily the safest play possible. But, like, I might just do it strictly because I said I was going to do it, and it's going to be funny. But, like, the fact of the matter is I should be hard switching into Goldengo here for sure every single time. So I'm going to make that play. It's really just a question of, do I want to Focus Blast or Bleak Wind? I think I'm just going to launch a Blast. I don't see too much stopping me here. They don't know if I'm Covert Cloak. I think they have to be under the assumption that I'm Covert Cloak. So I'm just going to drop the Focus Blast. If I get the big damage into Ogerpon, into the Empoleon, we absolutely take that every single day of the week. There is zero questions on whether or not that's good. We're just going to launch it. Send it! We're just going to send it. Alright, Empoleon ate that, so that probably AV. But, oh, it's Pledges. Why is it Pledges? Guys, why is it Pledges? Why did that hurt? That's not very effective. That's crazy. Alright, so was not expecting Pledges. I really do not like that now. This is pretty bad, I'm gonna be honest with you. Neither of them were Scarfed, is what I'm gonna point out. Because generally speaking on a Pledges team, you get one of them to be Scarfed, so that the second Pledge goes immediately after to guarantee they get it off. So neither of them are Scarfed here, which is a tad bit intriguing, but obviously the Swamp on our team is going to cut our speed in to a quarter, for those of you that don't know. But how do we get out of this now? Because I don't really want to Tailwind. It doesn't really get me anywhere if I Tailwind, right? Because like the quarter speed from the Swamp is going to be too much there. I'm just going to protect here. I want to save the Goldengo for a little bit. And I think I'm just going to drop a Bleak Wind. It's not ideal. It's not optimal. But damage coming out from Bleak Wind Storm is going to be good damage into the Rillaboom. And as long as we don't necessarily get a speed drop onto the... Perfect. Onto the Empoleon here. I cannot remember this thing's name for the life of me. Ice Beam, that should not be dropping a Torn. It's going to hurt, but it's not going to drop the Torn. Torn's going to now get a Bleak Wind Storm off. Good damage into Rillaboom. And I mean good damage into Rillaboom. And there's the speed drop. Why do I speak things into existence, guys? Why do I speak these things into existence? If anything else, we did get the speed drop. So it's technically not that bad because I could almost go Tailwind now. I don't want to Terra Dragon. As cool as that would be, actually. I'm just going to make... I Tailwind for sure just to maybe set up an endgame. And I think I just make it rain. I'll take my chip damage on both. I'll kill the Rillaboom. If they want to make a switch, they make a switch. They'll take damage as well. And I'm just going to sack this thing. I'm going to get a Tailwind up. They might try to double Goldengo now. They're actually going to Grassy Glide into my... That's a really good play. I didn't think that was going to get the kill, but that's a really good play, knowing that now knowing that that gets the kill. There's a Water Pledge. Goldengo ain't going to take that very well. And I think we're going to get slapped around by Pledges. I'm going to be honest, I was not ready for this. If I would have attacked with Goldengo last turn, it would have been such a better position. Okay, so we know that if they do launch the double Pledge, it is Grass Pledge. It is Grass typing, but with the Empoleon special attack stat. So how do we maneuver this now? Because I never got Tailwind up, right? Obviously, Empoleon has been slowed down. Obviously, I'm sashed on the thing. I think I'm just going to Spiky Shield, and I'm going to pray for whatever reason that this ends up working for me with Flutter Mane. And I'm going to drop a Moonblast to try and kill Rillaboom. I mean, I could go for a Follow Me to eat like a Grassy Glide, to eat like a Woodhammer Flash Cannon. But I don't think I eat a Woodhammer Flash Cannon with either of my pieces. So my line is for whatever reason that they actually end up hitting the Ogerpon here, which I think is very incorrect. They should double into my Flutter. But never mind, they're going to Woodhammer my my Ogerpon. We love to see it. Could have also protected Flutter. Would have been a valid option, but we are sashed, right? Which I don't think is something they're expecting me to be. And because I have that sash, I'm able to just kind of sit here and give myself a chance in this game. So we're going to get the protect to protect next turn, or if need be, I can Follow Me with my Ogerpon and just keep pieces alive as Flutter Mane does some things. The swamp should be ending. This should be one more turn of swamp, and then it should end. And that should maybe give us an outside shot. Obviously, their priority is now gone. Oh, never mind. The swamp is gone now. That's interesting. That kind of opens the door. Because now if they bring something in like that Flutter Mane, I can go Terra Water on my Ogerpon, blow up the Flutter Mane, and then still have my Flutter Mane for the following turn. The opportunities to win this game are very much so alive now. I thought the swamp was for one more turn. That is an Urshifu. It is Dark Urshifu. So I have to call whether or not they are going to Sucker Punch. There is no world in which they should be clicking Sucker Punch here. The question becomes, are they sashed? Because I'm going to follow me. And I'm going to Dazzling Gleam. I don't have Dazzling Gleam. I'm going to Moonblast into the Earth. But like, if they're not sashed, I am very much so in this game still. If they're sashed, it becomes a lot more questionable. Okay, if they're sashed, I probably just lose. But let's find out. I guess they can just Terra. Maybe they're like Terra Poison, and this is also just as bad. Yeah. Okay. This is over. This is over. I forgot they could still Terra, but like, even so, I don't know what I'm supposed to do in that regard. Like I said, I think at that point I have to say, you're not going to follow me. You're not going to Sucker Punch with the follow me pressure. And I have to just straight up double the Urshifu there, which, arguably speaking, may be decent. I mean, if I can live a Wicked Blow, ow! But I'm not living a, yeah, I'm not living a double up, and this is a GG. Yeah, okay, we got kind of slaughtered there. I think the right play there is like the line of thought I was getting at would be, okay, they're never going to Sucker Punch. To cover for the defensive Terra, I go Moonblast and Terra Water Ivy Cudgel and blow back the Urshifu. And then once again, I'm probably losing Flutter Mane at that point. And I still don't think I get the win. Like, I think I was too far back after the initial turns. But that would have definitely been the line on that turn. Once again, we don't know their last mon. I don't know if I'm capable of coming out of that. But if they did Ice Beam, maybe they did Ice Beam straight up into the Ogerpon to stop the follow me from happening on the following turn. Maybe expecting a Protect or something along those lines. So there is still a chance that I would have had 2 pieces after the end of that turn. But not the way I played it. We'll get you guys a third game though. Okay, we've got a Slug. And the Slug is pink. I am angry. Anyways, if you guys have made it this far in the video, blue Slug, best Slug in the comments down below. But besides the point, we got a match to win here. Why do I really want to lead Torn and Focus Blast a King Gambit for no reason? Why do I really just want to Focus Blast a King Gambit for absolutely no reason? Like, I don't know why. I really, really badly want to Focus Blast this King Gambit on lead. Because, like, you got to think they're bringing it, right? It does a very good job into things outside of my... I mean, I might just lead this, honestly. This is arguably a better lead. Zapdos Torn, though, is kind of crazy. Zapdos Torn goes kind of interesting. The problem with that is going to be the Iron Hands. And you know they're going to lead the Iron Hands because I don't think they can safely lead King Gambit here. Or unless they lead King Gambit plus Fake Out, which I could definitely see like King Gambit Hands being a thing from their end. And I really want to kind of try and punish that. So how do I punish that? I almost want to go like Zapdos Ogre. But like the problem is that doesn't punish anything per se, right? So it's, you know, let's do this because then they're gonna Fake Out the Zapdos and I'm gonna get a free thing. I'm gonna do it this way. I don't think Goldengo is right. I think I should be bringing Arcanine, but I ran out of time in Team Preview and I just wanted to launch click buttons. I should have tried to get down to the Arcanine. I think I might have been able to do it. I do think Goldengo is probably incorrect here. Like I'm just kind of bringing this mon where it probably shouldn't be making an appearance, but we'll see. I might be able to open the door for me for it. We'll see. But like with the Iron Hands and the I am 100% and I'm not gonna do that because like you've got to assume they're gonna be ready for the fighting move from the Zapdos, right? So obviously not gonna do that here. I am Scarfed. I don't really want to just knock off the Slug. I'm just gonna launch the Thunderous Kick because sometimes the Protect is very obvious, right? And sometimes people are like, oh, the Protect is so obvious. And then they just try not to Protect and they try to get in your head. So I'm just going to launch a Thunderous Kick. And I'm just going to launch a Bleak Wind. I'm just going to send it. I don't really see a reason to click Tailwind right now. Oh, okay, you know, I really shouldn't be surprised by that. But like, there was really nothing else for me to do. I might as well send it there. It's not like I'm going to kill a Gastron. Obviously, it would have got more value in the long run if I start Thundurus kicking into Gastron slots. But, you know, maybe puts it in range of another Bleakwind. But we're going to get a speed drop here, so it's not really going to matter. No, they're going to yawn. Okay. Do I say I will take the trade? Because sometimes and a lot of times with these scenarios, they just will give you the trade because they expect you to switch out. And since they just protected, I am getting damage, right? I am going to get good damage into something. I think I'm going to take the trade. I'm just going to take the trade. I'm going to get the damage output, right? I don't value Zapdos too much outside of this King Gambit, and there we go. Like I said, that is the line of thought there, right? And like I said, I got it wrong turn 1 where they're like, oh, I'm just going to not protect, but that turn right there, that line of thought is, well, they're going to expect me to switch out, and they're not going to give it to me. So they were going to try and stay on the field and capitalize, and I just kind of said, you know what, I'll take the sleeping Zapdos for a killed King Gambit. And now you're going to yawn again. Or you're going to Ice Beam, that's fine. That is most certainly fine, and that not being a 2-shot is incredibly, incredibly strong. Once again, Zapdos can go to sleep, I don't care. You know, Zapdos did its job. It was here to beat King Gambit, and it took care of it. Right? Alternatively, I could have saved Zapdos and Focus Blasted the King Gambit, but that felt really greedy, and I also could still miss despite being wide lens. So, definitely didn't love that concept here. So what do we got now? Okay. That is really, really good for me. I'm going to be honest. Is Tailwind better? I don't think so. I'm just going to let this piece... I'm just going to click a Bleakwind. If I am slower, it's a little unfortunate, but... They're going to Terra. Why are they launching a Terra? Are they just trying to, like, blow something back here? This seems a little odd. I mean, obviously they're trying to live a Bleakwind. I get that. But you're still taking incredible damage from Bleakwind. I still could potentially get the drop. Obviously, Zapdos fast asleep. If they are faster than Torn, though, this becomes very problematic. Okay, they're not. Good job, Bleakwind. Bleakwind is going to come out relatively good chip damage, honestly. And a speed drop, which is exactly what I was looking for there. They're going to Swords Dance. That's not good. And they're going to yawn. Okay. Is it worth trying to save Torn? Because once again, I could make the same concept and say, I'm just going to let Torn go down. I don't like that play this time. I think I am going to save my Torn. Like I said, Goldengo is not a piece I need in this game. Goldengo is not a piece I should be bringing. So I'm going to sacrifice the Goldengo here and just say I don't need this piece. Obviously, they could try to hit the Zapdos as well before I wake up, because I'm sure they don't want to be eating Thunderous kicks. So, unfortunately, I am still fast asleep. Killing off the Gastron there would have been incredible. However, not great. They're just going to Horn Leech. Zapdos is going to live that. That's going to double Zapdos then. They were just looking for their health to get back, which is completely fair and completely understandable. Yeah, they're going to kill Zap. Okay, that is okay by me. The real question is, how do I want to pilot this endgame? Because obviously I have the Ogerpon, but I don't want to reveal the Ogerpon right now. Because by revealing Ogerpon, I'm basically saying they know they now need to save their Gastrodon. So I don't want to do that. If I can trap their things on the field nice and low, that's by far the better play here. I'm going to Bleakwind. And I think I do want to Terra Dragon, because it does kind of sit in front of this Ogerpon a little bit. And I'm just going to Shadow Ball into the Gastro slot. If they try to protect the Gastron slot, good for them. It's a good play. But then the following turn, I can just get the attack off. I don't want a nasty plot. I feel like I'm at a spot where I need to just get the damage. I need to kill the Slug. Because the Slug is the only thing stopping my Ivy Cudgel from winning this game against the Ogerpon. Because they're already -1 speed, right? So we're going to go with Terra Dragon. It's a little aggressive right now, but I think it's needed to get through the turn. Obviously, they could have a Flutter Mane in the back, which is not ideal for us, but I do think I need to get through this turn. Bleakwind's going to come out. Despite having a wide lens, we are going to miss, and this is why I wanted to attack the Gastrodon, okay? This is why I wanted to click Shadow Ball into Gastrodon. It's got to go down this turn, so Gastro is going to go down immediately. If they opt to hit the Torn, then that's fine. If they try to hit the Goldengo, then we're going to survive. Yes, they're like +3. Yes, it's going to do 62 million. But the most important part about this is we're now going to get a Tailwind up. No, never mind. We're not going to click Tailwind. We no longer need to click Tailwind. I have Double Protect. I'm going to utilize it to my advantage. There is absolutely zero reason not to be clicking this right now. Getting through this endgame, gonna be ugly. But winnable. Ugly but winnable. That's the way I like to look at this one. It's really just a question of where if they're gonna protect the next turn, because Bleak Wind and Shadow Ball will most certainly be getting rid of. This Ogerpon. It's more so a question of, are they going to call that protect and kill a piece? Which I feel like they should. I think I might need the chip damage on hands. However, they're just going to be able to get a lot of it back with... I'm going to Bleak Wind Shadow Ball. If I get it wrong, I mean, it is what it is at the end of the day. It's... Actually, no, I can kill that thing later. So do I Bleak Wind and Shadow Ball the hands? The problem is if I give them this, they take 2 pieces. If I don't, if this, they're only, worst case scenario here, they're taking 1 piece. Right? I'm basically saying take 1 piece rather than taking 2. Yeah. Should have called that, but on the off chance I get that wrong, they only take, this way they only take 1 piece. If I get that wrong, they potentially take 2 pieces, and that's incredibly, incredibly bad for us here. So as long as Bleak Wind can connect, it didn't connect, so now we're kind of in a little bit of a problematic state. It's not the... Okay, they hit that one. That's actually really good for us. That's actually really, really good for us. So now we go... Do I go for a greedy nasty plot here? Because I'm killing off Ogre every single time with my Ogre, right? I'm walking in, I'm clicking Ivy Cudgel, and I'm taking them down. Right? That's why I was okay with them protecting there, but... So that gets the kill. I take down Ogerpon every single day of the week. The question is what I do here, because in my opinion, they should probably make this a 1v1, right? So I think just launching a Shadow Ball is arguably the better play. If I get it wrong and they start hitting the Ogerpon, well then I still have 2 attackers on the field, and I'm getting 2 Shadow Balls rather than a Nasty Plot and a Shadow Ball, which is effectively the exact same damage. So there's no reason to make the greedy Shadow Ball play, the Nasty Plot play, because like once again, they're going to go for the double. Thankfully, they do not get it. That is by far their best play. I 100% respect it. Here comes an Ivy Cudgel. Going to take down the Ogerpon. And now we've got Shadow Ball coming out for some chip damage here. The real question is, can we out-damage it? Because they should be Drain Punching. And I don't know if we can out-damage. Here comes a Shadow Ball for respectable chip, but nothing crazy. And they are going to Drain Punch. So Nasty Plot would have been fine, right? But, like, it's not like... I don't think we can win this. I don't think we can win this ever. I'm gonna Spiky. I'm gonna Spiky Protect. Just because I believe, like, we just get to kill. Get a little bit of health back here. If they do hit into the Spiky Shield, it makes sense. The Spiky Shield is obvious, so I don't want to just lose Goldengo for no reason. I could have gone, like, Follow Me Shadow Nasty Plot, which is kind of crazy. They're gonna Drain Punch, though. Okay. And they do Drain Punch that slot. So I could have launched a free Ivy Cudgel there. But I'm going to Horn Leech now, because they did 100. If I Horn Leech, I should be getting back to just above 100 HP or around 100 HP. And that should allow me to survive a Drain Punch now. And that should allow me to go Shadow Ball, Horn Leech, into Ivy Cudgel, Shadow Ball. And ideally, that survives me, that wins me the game. Assuming that works out in exactly the way I want it to. Yep, back up to about 100 health. That should allow me to live that Drain Punch now. Here comes a Shadow Ball for some decent damage into Iron Hands as well. They should go Drain Punch over there. Ogerpon is now going to survive. And now my win con is once again double protect, because there's no way for them to gain health back. And if they do accidentally launch it into the Spiky Shield user, I will always take that play. I don't think it's like optimal, but like I should just be launching attacks here. But if I can get a little bit of chip damage, there's really zero reason for me not to try and take this damage, right? Like the extra chip damage could always help. I don't think they have enough to win this game right now. Perfect. And that's exactly why you do that, right? I don't think they have enough health right now to win the game, since they're forced into hitting one of us anyways, and we're both at low HP, so they can't really heal up. 2 Cudgels, or a Cudgel plus a Shadow Ball, should be more than comfortable to kill it. Like, Cudgel Shadow Ball into their Drain Punch, into either a Cudgel or a Shadow Ball, should have been more than fine at that range. Actually, we're just going to crit anyways, because Ogerpon is the best, and what can I say? Ogerpon is absolutely goated at this game, but guys, this is, honestly, I had a ton of fun with this team. That is going to do it for us for the video today, guys. Thank you all so much for watching, and of course, thank you to Ryota for sharing the team. Really, really cool team. I had a ton of fun using it. Guys, once again, code is up above or down in the description, whichever one you prefer, along with the team report and all of Ryota's socials as well. Be sure to check them out. Incredible player, and obviously an incredibly fun team that we got to play with today. Unfortunately, didn't get to bring Arcanine too much, But the way I like to play the game is I don't like, especially in my YouTube videos, I don't like forcing things that really have no business being forced. Obviously, I could have brought it in that last game, but it ended up working out regardless, right? But like, I don't want to just bring Pokemon for the sake of bringing Pokemon. They're on the team. I think there are definitely matchups where Arcanine could have come, but not necessarily the ones I found on for the video today. But with that, guys, really fun team. Feel free to try it out. Make sure you check out Ryota as well. But I'm going to stop rambling now. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll catch you all in a future video.